Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois is concerned that Congress doesn't know how many people would die in a war with North Korea, so she's asking President Donald Trump to come up with an estimate. Duckworth, a veteran who flew helicopters in Iraq, sent a letter to Trump on Wednesday requesting a number for how many U.S. service members and how many civilians would die in a war. Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un remain in a tense rhetorical spat as Trump prepares for a trip to South Korea next week. "I fear the country is being deprived of an accurate assessment of what war against the DPRK North Korea would entail," Duckworth wrote. "Every citizen requires a transparent assessment of these costs to hold their elected representatives accountable for votes that carry life or death consequences." Keep up with this story and more by subscribing now. Duckworth isn't the only Democrat who has expressed concerns about not knowing how many people might die from a war, with Representatives Ted Lieu of California and Ruben Gallego of Arizona writing a letter to Defense Secretary Jim Mattis in September. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis visits the Demilitarized Zone DMZ on October 27 in Panmunjom, South Korea. Jaeon Hankyeonpool. Getty Images. Thus far, the administration has not provided any kind of detailed estimate of how many casualties would result from a war. Though coming up with a number would be difficult, experts have put the death toll as high as 1 million. Duckworth is also a co-sponsor of legislation that would require Trump to ask Congress for permission to start a preemptive war with North Korea, along with other Democratic Senators Chris Murphy of Connecticut, Brian Schatz of Hawaii, Cory Booker of New Jersey, Jeff Merkley of Oregon, and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, as well as Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. The legislation, proposed on Tuesday, still gives Trump the right to attack if there is an imminent threat. Both Mattis and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson acknowledged during congressional testimony on Monday that the administration does not currently have a legal justification for invading North Korea except for an imminent threat, a power all presidents retain. The exact definition of imminent, however, is hotly contested. Still, Trump's threats to take military action against North Korea have Democrats worried, including Duckworth. "We must never allow the consequences of war to be hidden from Americans," Duckworth wrote in her letter. "To be clear, I am not a dove, but I am also not a reckless hack, with scant appreciation for what the men and women in uniform, and their families, sacrifice every single day on behalf of our great nation.